What you drinking, Pierce?
I am drinking a Voodoo Ranger Future Hop from New Belgium, so the Voodoo Ranger line of IPAs I've always been really intimidated by because there are approximately 9 million of them. They put a new one out every month, and so I've never really tried to try any of them. So the other night I was going to a house party, and this was the only IPA that they had at 7-Eleven.
We are recording this in a room with the biggest dog that I might have ever seen in my entire life. His name is Luca. He is a very large Great Dane.
And he wants to be in my lap.
He's trying to eat your microphone, too.
Buddy, lay down.
Oh, he's about to take your headphones with you. Nope, other one. There you go. Big dog.
So you're intimidated by the Voodoo Ranger series?
Yeah, only in so much as that there's just so many of them, and not all of them are good, and there are more IPAs these days that I don't like than IPAs that I do. They're kind of going the way of the sours and the gosas and stuff. They're just becoming, or maybe I'm just getting older. I don't know, because I used to really like the
I got nothing for you.
what's that one with the pink elephant?
The pink elephant.
Elysium.
It is Elysium.
Which is that's a harsh IPA. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting weak. But this is a good one. This Future Hop IPA is a good one. It might be a new favorite if it sticks around. So that's the other thing about Voodoo Rangers is if you find one you like, then it's gone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I never have, but I don't like IPAs that are super astringent and piney. It just...
yeah.
I don't like that at all.
So Great Return's not really your jam.
Great Return and Pocahoptis.
Yeah. Pocahoptis is right on the line for me of I don't really like it, but I do drink it a lot because it's one that almost everybody always has.
True.
Yeah.
The convenience factor is high.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's enough on the spectrum of the IPAs that I do like that I will drink it. It's, I'd rather have that than, Bush or...
Oh, yeah. Any
I'm trying to think of something else that would be on a tap. Yeah.
Jordan?
I'm drinking Hardywood Christmas Morning, which is the coffee variant of Hardywood's legendary gingerbread stout, and it's fantastic.
That's awesome. It's good this year. Do you notice a difference year to year anymore, or?
Not so much with the variants. I think they've gotten a lot more consistent in the last couple of years because there for a while they were really, you could tell they were struggling to figure out how to ramp up production because when it first came out it was a highly sought after, people were getting into fights trying to get a hold of it because it was so rare. But now you can get, Kroger has a whole display of it.
There were hundreds of cans of it at Kroger the other day.
So and you can get it at Costco now too, which is nice. But yeah, for when they were ramping up production a couple of years ago, it was wildly different year to year. And in the last, I would say 3 or 4 years, it's really leveled out. It's pretty consistent.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's good.
I think it's good.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think it's delicious.
I think that makes the variants a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. And
oh, you mean the Christmas morning versus the pancakes and
variants, not variants.
Right.
There we go. I think the standard gingerbread stout is still my favorite of the variants. I just enjoy. I feel like you get more of the gingerbreadness from the regular one.
Oh, that's fair.
Because you don't have a lot of other flavors mixed in with it to kind of cover it up.
Yeah.
Christmas Morning is probably my number 2 because I love the coffee addition to it.
Yeah.
Freaking Christmas pancakes this year is so good.
It was the first year for that was 2 years ago or something like that. It's pretty new.
I think so, yeah.
I had it last year, and it was way better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, they had it on tap at Jack Brown's, and for my St. Day,
yeah.
and then again for Meredith's St. Day.
It was
phenomenal.
It was better on tap than it was out of the can, I gotta say.
Oh, really? I've not had it out of the can. I just had the tap there.
Usually my opinion of at least the regular gingerbread stout is the opposite. I think it's much better out of a can or a bottle than it is off the tap. I think you get more of the spice flavor that way.
I guess that, I should say that I haven't had it out of the can in a cup. So the fact that I was drinking it out of a cup at Jack Brown's is probably the biggest difference. I was getting the nose. What are you drinking, Corey?
Oh, yeah.
Just whiskey today.
All right.
It's Old Forester, I know. I don't know. Look, it was this or a Truly from the holiday selection of Trulies, which are pretty good, actually.
What do they have for holidays?
There's a cranberry orange, a one they call a Christmas sangria that's pretty good, and then there are two more,
and two others.
One of them is green.
Christmas pine.
One time,
it's probably mint.
At band camp.
It's probably like
mint.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Mint jelly, maybe.
I don't know.
Mint
Yeah,
jelly.
I don't know.
Do you guys remember Jones sodas?
Yeah, dude.
I love Jones.
Do you
sodas.
remember like the Thanksgiving pack of Jones sodas?
No. I
man.
did not get to have Jones sodas often.
It was a huge deal at my stupid homeschool crew co-op thing that I was a part of.
That checks out.
Yeah. They had all the good ones, the juice, like the fruits and sodas and all the normal people flavors, but then they also had like pickle and and garlic and like really there were like hundreds of flavors of Jones soda.
Yeah, I'm
And I only remember it from one year. Probably every year they did a Thanksgiving pack, and it was like turkey, and then cranberry. Like in each,
mashed
there was
potatoes.
it was a box of 6 bottles.
Yeah, a bottle of each of those flavors.
And the first one was turkey, and then the second one was cranberry juice.
Were
and
they good?
No, they were terrible. What are you talking about? Were they good?
I don't know.
It was.
I've never had turkey soda.
It was like if you took the turkey brine from the bottom of a pan and put it in a cup of cream soda. Basically, it was like cream soda was like the base flavor of all the Jones sodas. And then there were like sprinkles of the other flavors.
Nah.
No, for sure, nah. Yeah.
No, they were terrible. It was like a more of a fear factor aspect to it than any sort of enjoyment.
Jones soda, yeah.
Yeah, that's my glowing endorsement for homeschoolership.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
I did a track. The last track day I did this year was at Dominion, and I hadn't been there in probably a year and a half. The track had degraded pretty bad. What's weird is like the bump under the bridge that is the worst part.
In the hole in the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, it was about the same that it's been. It hasn't gotten worse, but it's still pretty bad. The road to the track, like you turn off the main road and you go down the road past Sheets to get to the track, and like there's a clear line where public road ends, or like the road that Sheets pays for ends, and the road that Dominion pays for begins, and it's like really bad.
Yeah, that entry road has always been. What blows my mind is that, like, first of all, I've always had a really hard time finding the access road to Dominion, but somehow
they changed the intersect. That whole exit off of I-95 is completely different now.
Okay, so the last time I was at Dominion was for the East Coast Rotary Rally.
I think
or
it's different since then.
In like 19.
Yeah.
But so you're saying since then is when the people have been driving onto the track, because you're saying like people are driving onto the track these days.
It has happened a couple of times where a rando member of the public will leave Sheets or something and go left trying to find 95, and instead go past the main gate of Dominion, down past the main building, down pit lane, and end up on the track during a hot session. That has happened a couple of times from what I hear.
And that's wild to me to even try to think about, because that road is so shitty. How could you possibly think that?
People don't pay attention.
Never underestimate the stupidity of your fellow man.
I mean, that's fair.
But right after the event that I went to, they repaved the bump under the bridge. I think they did some spots in like turn 2. I think they did some on the entry road too. So it was a lot better. I went back a few weeks ago to watch. They had like this weird endurance race that they haven't run before. It was a 6-hour enduro that they had several classes for. I think there was maybe about 20 participants, which is plenty for a track that small. A lot of like lemon style cars in some like, they looked like they came out of a Destructo Derby, like some of these cars. But yeah, they had this enduro there that was pretty cool to watch. I took my young 1-year-old daughter and we went and watched for like an hour, and she now makes race car noises when I show her pictures of race cars, and that's really funny.
That's dope. I took my girls to a drift event at Spirit Japan one time. They were really into it the first time. So then I tried to go back, and they were absolutely not into it at all the second time. So that was neat.
Cool.
That was a cool one-time thing, and I feel like I lost that. But was the enduro thing not like I feel like it was like a promo for like hey, we just paved our track, I
don't think
let's
so.
do this.
I think the timing just worked out. They had repaved it like a day or two before that. It definitely looked a lot smoother. Just watching the cars go past that spot under the bridge looked a lot smoother. One of the cars that was out there was a SN95 Mustang. Did not appear to have any kind of roll cage whatsoever. And I was very confused. I don't know if they were just short on participants or what, but that seemed sketchy to me. But whatever.
Specifically because it was an enduro event?
Because it's a wheel-to-wheel race event. You have to have a cage
of course.
for wheel-to-wheel.
Yeah, of course. Duh.
Yeah, so that was sketchy.
Maybe it had like a roll bar.
It had a roll bar that was a 2-point roll bar. It was literally just a hoop, and that is it. No like downward facing rear bars, no nothing. Just a hoop, which doesn't do anything.
No, interesting.
Yeah, so that was kind of sketchy, but I mean, nobody wrecked super hard from what I could see, and it seemed cool. If they do it again and I had a car that was caged, I would consider doing it.
I should have kept the Swift for that.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Do you know that I just found out this week that BC Racing makes coilovers for that car?
Is there anything they don't make coilovers for?
Well, I never was able to find anything for that car while I owned it, but now of course.
Did you get rid of it?
Oh yeah, that car's been gone for 4 or 5 months.
Oh, did you sell it right before you got the Fit?
No, I got it. I sold it just after I got the Fit.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And so then now all of a sudden I'm finding, brake kits, BC Racing coilovers, and
did you just like not look very hard?
No, I absolutely did. But this dude in Australia just came onto the Facebook group and was like, "Hey, did you guys?" Because like he commented under a post if somebody was like, "How do I, what spring options do I have?" And this dude out of Australia, who was like a new member to the Facebook group, was just like, "Why aren't you guys putting the BC coilovers on your cars?" And we were all like, what? And he was like, well, yeah, here in Australia, we call them the,
Suzuki
Chevy.
whatever.
Well, it's like a Chevy. I don't even know. It's different. And it's got like a specific chassis code to the Australian version, but it's literally the same car that we have. So now all of a sudden there's white line parts that I could never find before. BC Racing coilovers, brake kits, all this shit that I was looking for when I had the car that would have been perfect for a $300 car. To like enduro race or anything. You just do anything with.
The car weighs nothing. It's not going to chew through consumables.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It was hard to find the wheel bearing, Well, I mean, that car was sold in America, and the wheel bearing for the American version of that car was very difficult to find when I needed one. Cool.
All right.
Cool, bro.
Oh, yeah. I thought you had another thought there. You like...
Oh, I do, but I was
okay.
waiting for the...
Oh, fair enough.
Toontastic.
I was going to ask you, but because you brought up the Fit, how is the Fit? What's going on with the Fit?
The Fit is go.
There we go. I remember those really obnoxious commercials.
With the shrimp and shit.
Those commercials were terrible.
They
were
terrible.
awesome. Shut up.
No, they were awful. It made me hate the car when it first came out.
No, I'm sorry.
they were really bad.
Yeah.
But the cars are amazing, so it kind of like,
if you
redeemed it or whatever.
If you want to listen to three dudes gush over Honda Fits for an hour and a half, then today's episode of Slip Angle is for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Was that the one where they were talking about Ross's?
Yeah, they bring up Ross.
Yeah.
It's the two guys that Ross beat on his last lap at Road America.
Yeah. But no, those Fit commercials were out at like the same time that those like trip ass Quiznos commercials were out. I feel like there were like multiple, brands that were doing these like just
Weird.
psycho ass commercials
I don't remember the Quiznos commercials.
with like the pirate gerbil things. Oh man.
No.
What?
Maybe I blocked it out of my mind.
Bro. I really want to pull it up right now.
No, let's not.
I mean,
Maybe later.
yeah, you guys are blowing my mind.
Sorry.
No, the fit's good. It's since I have been driving this Sprinter van every day, it's weird because like I'll get in it and okay, so the Sprinter van is brand new. It's a new car. It's a Sprinter van.
Yeah.
But it's new.
Right.
So it has like new things. Everything just kind of works.
Yeah.
And so then I'll get in the fit and I'll be like, this old piece of junk. Even though it's definitely the
Like
newest
the
car
newest
I've
car you've
ever
ever
owned.
had,
Ever
yeah.
owned. But then like 5 minutes into the drive, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's, this is pretty cool.
Oh, this old piece of crap.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, does driving around a big van all day make the Fit feel even more like a sports car by comparison?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It literally makes me feel like I am sitting on, like my ass is dragging the ground. Like, because, I'm sitting in the Sprinter van, I'm elevated by,
Quite a bit.
I mean, 4 or 5 feet. I don't know. It's
not,
tall.
It's
man.
not a freaking.
No, I
bulldozer.
don't know like what I could. No, yeah, it's not a bulldozer, but my line of sight is well over the top of like Forerunners.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. I'm also like my line of sight is also like right at the top of the windshield. They obviously didn't think about ergonomics at all when they built these vans. The seat doesn't go down. It barely goes back.
Do you have headroom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the cab it's like a 9.5 foot tall vehicle or something like that. I
That
might
sounds
be
right.
Wrong about
No,
that.
that sounds right.
So yeah, it's the high top version of the Sprinter van. So yeah, I've got plenty of headroom. Where was I going with this?
Line of sight, Fit.
Getting into the Fit.
Right. So because of that, and because I'm used to like looking down, like from the mountaintop at the road and everything, when I get in the Fit, it's like I feel like the old grandma that's like looking over the
Like
top
looking
of her.
through
Yeah.
the steering wheel.
Yeah. So it takes some getting used to. And then I'll go for like a week and a half without driving the Fit at all. So then I'll get in it and like have to relearn how to do cool driving things, and I suppose I should probably actually talk about what I do, right?
Sure.
At some point, since that hasn't been introduced.
It hasn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been on this show since like September.
Oh,
I've
fair
only
enough.
recorded like one show since September.
Yeah,
so.
that's my bad. Sorry about that. So everybody out there listening.
And this is the reason, is because you were in Texas and,
Yeah. All
out
right.
on
So
the road and in D.C. and
So here's what happened. I got a new job for a sub company of LKQ, which is a very large company that sells aftermarket and remanufactured parts. There's a large portion of it that is body parts, but then they also do engines and transmissions and everything to do with cars. They have junkyards across the nation, as well as like new parts manufacturing plants. It's a Fortune 200 company.
LKQ also now they own Keystone as well, which is
That's correct.
one of the largest aftermarket body parts manufacturers in the U.S.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, when they bought Keystone, that was really like
It was huge.
the huge thing that really. So then in the body part business, they realized that there was a market for ADAS recalibration, the automated driver assistance systems, which is like
like the auto braking, lane assist,
Yep,
all those sensors and cameras.
automatic distance cruise control, lane watch cameras. Honda has the
The
right
camera
side,
on the right side mirror.
the
Yeah.
right side camera deal, and then parking sensors and all that crap. So the job that I'm doing now, I have a Sprinter van that I drive around to these body shops that they sell parts to, and then they'll call me. I'll set up appointments and go in there, reset the radar, calibrate the radar. My van is full. It's like absolutely packed with all these different target boards. I've got four huge like mounts that, one of them holds the Nissan. You should see the Nissan array, man. It's crazy. It's this huge, like 100-pound at least tree thing with these arms that swing out. Like, it might be 6 feet wide in total, and then there's like 3 targets that you have to line up across it. It's crazy. It's wild to see. And that's all packed into my van, and I drive out to these body shops and reset their cameras and stuff so that they don't have to take the car to a dealership,
Pay the tow fee.
pay the tow fee, pay the dealership price, which, I mean, technically we are more expensive than the dealership, yes.
That's
But
kind of surprising.
but the difference is that they don't have to wait for the dealership, because the dealership is not interested, in body shop work. They're trying to get their customers in and out. It's all about their
Turn and burn.
what's that form? The
The
CSA.
customer. Yeah, I think it's.
Is it CSA?
The customer review?
Yeah, the review
Stuff,
forms.
yeah.
Because that's how they get paid.
That's literally all. Anytime you go to any service job of any kind and they give you a experience survey, just fill it out with all 10s all the time and be done with it. Unless they give you really shitty service.
Yeah, unless they actually up, like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if they do up, but it's not necessarily like the person who you're dealing with's fault. It's like beyond their control. Like, I mean, we had a person when I was at Toyota. This is like my go-to story for this. But like when I was at Toyota, we had the service advisor. So when you bring your car to the dealership, the person, when you pull up in the service lane and you talk to those people inside, that's the service advisor. That's what that person does. They are the go-between between you and the shop. And their pay is almost exclusively based on, it's partially based on like upsells and stuff. So that's why they push like the BG services and stuff. But
right.
The main thing their pay is based off of is the customer surveys. We had a person give like a 0 survey because we didn't have free donuts available in the waiting area. So Ronnie didn't get to eat that week.
Yeah. Sarah tells a story about how when she was working at Toyota, she had a customer she had the customer come in on Monday. Everything was good. They serviced the car. They got it back the same day, and the customer was happy, blah, blah, blah. She got the CSA, and it was all 0s because the customer originally came in on Sunday, and the dealership was closed. So, like, what are you supposed to do about that? Like,
Yep. It's just an excuse for the dealership not pay its employees.
It's
That's all
so
it is.
dirty, man. It's such bullshit. Dealerships suck. If you work in a
Yep.
dealership and you listen to this podcast,
Get
you
out.
should absolutely
Get out.
ditch that shit.
Unless you're a tech that's really good at your job, then maybe stick it out because you can make good money.
No, you can't. I mean, maybe you can, but you could definitely make better money at a private shop. I guarantee it.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you're good at Subarus, you go to the Subi guy. If you're good at Nissans, you go to
Whatever.
well, yeah, I mean, there's
CarMax, that's where all the Nissans go.
Zing!
Where's the rim
Play
shot?
me out, Johnny!
Rim shot. Hey. So, dealerships suck. So the whole point of what I do is that
Corey's just having all kinds of problems right now. I'm sorry. The dog is like, what is happening? Dealerships.
So the job that I do is supposed to like circumvent the dealership experience. It's supposed to make everything better, on top of the fact that, that the company offers a 24-hour on-site promise. So like if you call on Monday, we'll be there either on Monday or Tuesday. That's the guarantee. So it's, I mean, in my mind, it's like a no-brainer. I don't know.
Especially for like a high volume body shop. Like all these Geico shops are just in and out, in and out, in and out. They got to get the cars through as fast as possible.
I will say that like Mako, the Mako and the Calibers around here, they have their own equipment to do like literally the bare minimum that Geico requires.
That's literally the Geico way.
So they're satisfied with that. They're not interested in having me do any of their pre or post scans, and they're totally fine with dealing with the dealership, I guess. I don't, as a chain, I guess they just don't care.
They don't care because if there's ever a problem, they just have Geico deal with it because they are completely at the whim of Geico. Geico controls everything that they do. It's crazy.
I will also say that Caliber has a really bad reputation around town. This town, anyways.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you know about it? Did you work at Caliber?
Yeah, I worked at Caliber.
Oh.
Yeah, I worked there for like 2 years.
Why did I think you worked at Witten?
No, I applied there. They offered me a job, and I said no.
Okay, so you were.
It's not because of Caliber. It's because people blame Caliber, but honestly, Caliber does exactly what Geico allows them to do.
Well, according to some people that I have talked to recently, like through the COVID experience, Caliber like stopped paying their rent
Oh,
Yeah, all the ones here in Richmond, they like stopped paying rent. They started trying to stop paying their technicians.
that didn't really happen.
Okay,
That
this
did-
is all like
When
fourth
COVID
party
first hit,
hearsay.
COVID hit in like March 2020, February
Yeah.
2020. I left Caliber in July 2020. They had cut all overtime. They had cut like a third of the techs. They had cut all non-essential personnel.
Without pay. I mean, like they
Oh,
weren't giving
cut,
them.
gone,
Yeah,
like gone. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Was that why you left, or
No, well, they had cut my overtime, which hurt a lot. That extra 5 hours a week
Yeah.
made a big difference.
yeah?
But also, I went to a company that doesn't just replace Nissan Altima bumpers all day, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Nissan drivers, man, what are they doing?
Not driving.
I like every time there's a problem on the road, it's an Altima.
Yep.
It's always an Altima. It's not even like a Sentra. Like,
Nope.
No, it's an
What the
Altima or maybe like a Murano or
No credit required, bro.
here's the, what, at a Nissan dealer?
Yeah, you could, dude. Nissan will sell a car to anyone.
No shit.
They'll sell an Altima to anyone.
Do you know that Nissan is doing this subscription thing now? Have you heard about that?
Are they doing the Volvo and the Porsche thing?
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
You like pay a monthly fee and you just get a car.
It's like a monthly rental on a brand new car.
Huh.
Yeah. It's,
like a lease, but more more.
You like swap out-
it's
regular.
more stringent and more expensive.
And you can swap, but you can swap out cars.
You can
whenever
technically
you want. Basically.
you can technically swap out your car whenever you want. Yeah, but who actually is going to do that?
With Nissans, insane
Well, all right, you know what?
psychopaths.
But actually, though, like if you get into an Altima and you discover it's a piece of shit, then maybe you want to move.
Do
into
they
a-
make ones that aren't?
Well,
No,
yeah, no.
some of the Infinity stuff right now is kind of nice. We have a
No.
Q50 in the shop that has the VR30 twin turbo V6.
Isn't that the huge one?
No, I think it's a Q50. It's the 2-door coupe. It's basically the G35, the new G35.
The QX50 is definitely the
Yes,
Armada.
I think it's
Okay,
a Q50, but it's a twin turbo V6.
Heard.
It's the 3-liter version of the GTR motor that's going in the new Z,
yeah.
and it's a great motor. They are quick.
Yeah. Okay. They're good now.
Yeah,
They
well,
are
that's-
fast.
Yeah,
But it's literally like the difference between the Wish brand and the Amazon brand. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Wish isn't. Oh,
no.
okay.
So
yeah.
like you got the Amazon brand or whatever.
The basics.
The brand name is the GTR twin turbo motor, right?
Yeah.
It's made good. They actually put care and thought into it, like production quality.
well,
but then
the VR30 is a derivative of the VR38.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then you get the Wish version, which is going into the new 400. What are they calling it?
It's the Nissan Z.
Okay. It's going into the whatever G thing that they got going on right now, the SUV.
It seems like a pretty stout motor.
It's gonna be trash, dude. It's made with cost cutting part. There's a reason that car costs a quarter of the amount of the GTR, and it's
Well, a
not just
GTR
because it's-
came out at 70 grand, and a new Z is going to be about 40, which isn't crazy.
40.
Yeah, new Z is starting about 40.
I thought I read they were starting at like 30.
No, it's about, I think it's like $39.95. The new Z is coming out at the same price point that the 350Z came out at, while accounting for inflation. It's the same price,
Oh, I thought it was
which is
gonna
very
be,
cool because it's a lot of car for the money.
Well, I guess, but I thought for some reason I was thinking that it was on the same level as a Mustang, or is there a Mustang?
It's
that
like
costs
it's
that
like a
much?
decently optioned GT, like a mid-tier
Oh,
Mustang GT.
okay. Interesting.
I still don't like them.
What, the Z?
The Z.
Have you seen like the production version of it? They changed the front end from that awful yellow concept a little bit, and it looks a lot better.
I'm not into it. I feel
Okay,
you, Corey.
that's fair. I have never liked that car, the 350 or the 370.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think they look good at all.
Oh man, the 350 was like my favorite new car on sale when it was new.
The 350 was okay. I was always like okay with the 350, but the 370, like the 370 hit something in me. Like it has like angles. It's got like the hips.
It has
Yes,
real
it's got
good
the
hips. Yeah,
It's got the booty.
it does have a booty.
I-
It also has a much nicer interior than a 350Z. The 350Z interior is embarrassing. Like it's really bad.
I've literally never been inside one.
god awful. Like
I've been in both. And
like
I
the
gotta say,
2002 Trans Am that we have at the shop that's falling apart has a nicer interior than a 350Z.
I've been in both the 350 and the 370, and I gotta say that like maybe the 370 is better than the 350, but neither one of them is good. They're terrible.
Also true. But the 370 is light years ahead of the 350. I think.
know that I agree with that.
Maybe I've just been in really ratty 350s, but they're not good.
I always feel like I have always felt that the Nissan interiors up until, well, I mean, even currently, like, you know, when I was working at Enterprise, I was running into all the new cars, and the interiors just always reminded me of like the early to mid 2000s Chevrolet interiors, with just like the plastic trims that always squeak, look fake. You know, all the stitching just looks so fake.
Oh man,
And
we have an SN95 at the place at which I work for employment, and the handle you grab on the door to close it, like the whole door panel flexes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go to close the door, and everything squeaks, and it's just like it is the embodiment of everything that gave me negative stigmas about American cars back in the day. Just they're such utter garbage.
Yeah. Is it the kind of situation where like when you go to open the door, the card hangs on the sill and you got to like put your shoulder in it?
It's not that bad,
Okay.
fortunately, but it's real rough.
One of my favorite moments in Top Gear ever is when Clarkson drives
Oh.
the F-150 Lightning, and he's like pushing on all this stuff, and it squeaks, and he takes the wheel and like jimmies it back and forth, and nothing happens.
I thought you were gonna say the episode where they have the British Leyland cars, and he
yeah.
he opens the door and the door card is still there.
Yeah.
that one's really good. And the I forget what car it was, but when
Hammond,
I think, pulls up in like this little ship box or whatever, and Clarkson says, "Do you know the problem with these is they're really easy to steal?" And he goes, "If you're a car thief, don't watch this. No car thieves are allowed to watch this." And he takes the hazard button out, flips it upside down,
was that car?
and puts it back in, and then they just push start it, and
Yeah.
it turns on.
That was a car that we have here. I remember watching that and being like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I'm going to be rich.
You should look that up. We should find out
Even
what car
more
that
shitty
is.
cars.
Yeah.
Like literally, you pop. Do you remember this clip?
I don't remember that one specifically. No.
Literally, you take, if you can get into the car, all you do is take it comes out as like a module, right? You take out the module of the hazard button, turn it upside down, and when you push it back in, the ignition comes on.
Yeah, like the vehicle is totally powered
How
up.
is that
You
possible?
don't even have to push the button. You literally just put
Yeah.
it back in. And then they just
God bless British electronics.
Was it a Hyundai?
then they just bump start him, and he's off, and like Hammond or whoever is just holding the key. It's
so
hysterical.
it basically like puts it into key on, sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it puts it in run.
Oh my
it like
God.
straight up. It's the car is on.
Yeah,
Like all
yeah.
the lights come on. It goes ding, ding, like it's ready to be started.
That's amazing.
Gotta find it.
I'll find it later.
Okay.
That's fine.
On the
Okay.
topic of shitty old beat ass cars.
Yeah.
So my new thing now is that because I've sold the RX-7 and I never have time to drive any fun cars, I really want another car.
Wait, so you never have time to drive your cars, so you want another one?
Yeah, you know, logic. This is the season of depression. You know,
I understand.
we need like is there like a
Boom, doom, doom.
nah? There's got to be like a the more you know kind of. Is there not one? Do we
There's
not?
only 4 sounds.
Oh, really? The season of depression. Nah, not that one.
Maybe we could do the applause.
No.
I
Did-
really think that we should use a lot of the Professor Farnsworth to shreds. You say. What happened to his parents? To shreds, you say.
How's his wife holding up?
Good news, everyone.
That and the boom, doom, doom. The more you know.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Yeah,
one.
well, that's what I was looking for. Is like boom, doom, the season of depression. I don't know. It's just I have all right, so I don't have the RX-7 anymore. So naturally, I want like a kitschy, nasty 90s to 80s Japanese car to be in, because that's all I've ever known since I've been in high school. And man, let me tell you, I'm just so upset with the car market right now, because everything that I could have gotten. All right, so
You know what hasn't really gone up is ratty third gen Supras. They are still
no,
cheap.
you're lying. You're wrong. I've been looking at third gen Supras, specifically the MA70 Supras, because I really do feel like a third gen Supra is the car that I should be in. That was the first car. I really love that car. They're good, comfortable driver's cars, and girls don't hate them, you know? Like if I was to show up in an MA70, like that wouldn't be the worst thing. However, even like the shitty ones that I could have gotten 4 years ago for $1,500, $2,000. I just looked at one last night, that was $7,000. It's got like a bolted on eBay wing. You know, it's got like the front bumper is barely hanging on. It's like an 86.5 too. It's got like a bolted on turbo on an NA engine. Just like it's like drift spec in harsh air quotes. And they want $7,000 for this piece of trash. And like, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you might see something like that for like $5,000 and everybody would make fun of them. But nowadays, that's what the value of the car is.
That's so crazy.
It's so dumb, and it makes me so freaking mad.
Can I make you madder?
No, hold on. Let me be mad about this for a minute. Because when I was buying these cars and when I was driving these cars, nobody wanted them. Nobody thought they were cool.
Nope.
I'm spooking the dog. I'm sorry, dog.
It's a big dog.
But everybody wanted to make fun of me for being in this hard air quotes again, trash car that was so ugly, and that's not a real Supra. The 4th gen is the only real Supra. But now
forget the 3 that came before.
It's so like I'm having a real hipster like event where like I had this car first, and it was cool to me first. Let me just have one because you all hated them 5 years ago.
All things 80s are cool again.
Which is the way it always should have been.
It's 30-year cycles. That's how it works.
30 years, you think?
30 years.
I don't know. I feel like it's the 80s and 90s thing is going to be the last, like...
I don't know, man. Early 2000s stuff is going to come back, too. Like those 350Zs we were talking about, as shitty as they are, if you have a nice one still, that's going to be worth a lot of money in 10 years.
Yeah, maybe. But there's going to be an end point to that.
And like RSXs and stuff.
The cars are not going to last that long. Coming up soon,
yeah.
Like we're not going to see these cars last 30 years.
I agree.
What were you saying that was going to make me even more mad?
So my coworker, who I'd actually really like to have on here at some point, Timmy, the 240 guy.
Oh, the head gasket guy?
Yeah, the king of the KA head gaskets.
Yeah.
He has bought 3 S13s in the last, or 2 S13s and an S14 in the last few months, and I don't think he spent more than $1,500 on any of them.
No.
He's buying them from old people.
Back up. Say that again.
2 S13s, an automatic and a manual, and an S14, purple, original purple, which is a very rare color, manual, early S14 for like $1,500. It has like 250,000 miles on it, but it's basically mint. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That makes me mad.
Uh-huh.
That makes me real mad.
He's unironically saying it's his retirement fund. Like he's buying.
No, that's legit.
Yeah, he's buying all these cars because he can't not, and then he's just going to keep them nice and save them, and eventually sell them in like 15 years when they're worth $1.5 billion.
Is it where you're looking? Like, is it just...
I mean, it has to be.
Is it just that it's Facebook Marketplace or whatever, you know?
Yeah. The other problem is that the forums
He did not find any of them online. He found them all in person.
Yeah. The forums...
Or old people that don't use Facebook.
Yeah. The forums don't exist anymore.
Grassroots Motorsports forum, I'd recently discovered, is hopping. It's crazy.
With cars or with...
It's full. Like it's the busiest forum I've ever seen.
Supermania literally doesn't exist anymore, which was like the actual 3rd gen Supra forum.
Like it's gone?
Gone. Do you remember like in late 2000 when all those there was like all of the vehicle forums were on like this one server, this one format, and that thing got hacked and all the passwords got leaked out. So then all of the vehicle forums like moved over.
V-Bulletin, I think.
Maybe.
Wasn't it?
I don't remember. So then all the vehicle forums like moved over to different platforms or a different server or just whatever. Went to
that
Facebook.
was the first big blow.
Yeah. So like RX-7 just moved over. They like literally copy paste. It's the the layout is like totally different, but it still feels mostly the same. But Supermania like never came back. They've got a landing page now that just says, "Hey, here's what happened. We're working on a new one." But that last update was in like February of 21, I think. So yeah, it just doesn't exist anymore.
That is such a shame. That happened to the Cressida forums 6 months before I bought my first Cressida. Yep.
Ouch. Yeah, there was so much good stuff on Supermania, man. There were just good people on Supermania.
Yep.
And I just don't know how to find them anymore.
I genuinely think forums are going to make a comeback because image hosting is not as complicated as it once was. And I think Facebook as a social media platform that we currently know it to be is not long for this world.
I hope so.
Because none of the Zoomers are on it. None of the Zoomers are on Facebook.
It's just not as easy to browse and research
There's
topics
so many
on
ads.
the Facebook groups.
Yeah, like it's not what it used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to this week's episode. We really appreciate you giving us your time. We'd love to hear your feedback. You can hit us up on Instagram and Facebook at Beer and Backfire, or shoot us an email at beerandbackfire@gmail.com. You can also reach us individually. Corey's Red Pants are always at c.crehan. Jordan's fantastic race car progress can be followed at The Daily Downshift on Instagram and Blogspot. And I'm Savedro88 on just about every social media platform that exists. On behalf of the three of us, I'd like to wish all of you a very safe and happy Christmas. Now go be good to each other and do race car shit with your friends.
We love these subs, 'cause they are good to us. The Quiznos subs, they are tasty, they are crunchy, they are warm because they toast them. They got a pepper bar.
Quiznos new Santa Fe Trio subs with smoky chipotle sauce. Try chicken, roast beef, or smoked turkey.
The Quiznos subs.
Quiznos.
Toast.
Free candy.